Skip, what do you make of this?
I don't know what you think about a room full of lighter fluid or any flammable liquid in a match, but I kind of know how that's going to end up. I don't know what Jerry's thinking, but he's right. You're going to be blown to the stratosphere.
You know
Look at
what?
Skip, I love it.
Right now,
Get a close-up on Skip.
my heart feels like it's got 1.5 inches of lighter fluid in it, and Jerry's about to throw a match in my heart and just torch it. I don't know what else to say about this, except I called this several weeks back. I told you Jerry Jones is going to reinstall Tony Romo at quarterback and start him on opening day next season. I know Jerry, and I know what he's up to. At one point he said, we got to cool it on talking about Romo. And then he keeps talking and talking and talking about Tony Romo, how much Tony means to him, how much it would mean to him to see Tony Romo win a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys.
This team was built for Tony Romo.
Built for Tony Romo. This offense was built for Tony Romo. What he's doing is he is laying the groundwork. He is planting the seeds. He's conditioning Cowboy fans to prepare themselves for the inevitable. Tony Romo returns at quarterback for the Cowboys. Even though my Dallas Cowboys are currently the Vegas favorite to win the NFC next year, and that's with Dak Prescott at quarterback, Jerry is going to mess this up because Jerry can't help himself. You heard the quotes. The first guy who talked to him was, after he got in the hall, we were just talking about the first call you got was from your owner. Well, the reverse is the first call he got was from his backup quarterback, Tony Romo. No one was earlier or quicker to give me a hug, says Jerry Jones. It's no secret. I just think so much of him as a person and so much of him as a player. And he went to the links right after the playoff loss to say that Tony Romo could have outgunned Aaron Rodgers in that shootout at Texas, Jerry World. And he believes that. He not only believes they could win the Super Bowl much quicker next year with Tony Romo at quarterback, he believed, as we keep talking about, that they could have won this past Super Bowl if Tony Romo had been reinstalled at quarterback 6 or 7 games earlier. That's how much Jerry loves Tony. So this is like slow death for me because he's subtly, slowly, but surely trying to condition all of us to get ready for what's coming because he says nobody should be alarmed. This is Jerry. This is between the lines. He's saying prepare yourself. Don't be alarmed. It's Tony Romo we're talking about. We're going to have a better chance with Tony Romo next year than we would with a kid who only won 11 straight games this past year and was Offensive Rookie of the Year. Really? Oh, okay.
He keeps reaffirming what I've said all along. He views Tony Romo as a son. And cutting Tony Romo, trading Tony Romo would be like jettisoning his son, Stephen Jones, or the others.
It would.
Skip, I made the joke that Tony Romo Jones, but this is how Jerry views him. Because Jerry says, yeah, we got to see each other in person, but more in spirit.
They're connected, man.
Skip.
Soulmates.
A 73-year-old, I think Jerry's 73.
Yeah.
Tony Romo's about to be 37.
Yeah.
And they're kindred spirits. I think he's talking himself out of trading or releasing Tony Romo because he keeps telling you, well, this offense was built for him. He said after the game, those plays that Aaron Rodgers were making, those are Romo-type plays. Romo can make those plays. You ought to see him going up against our defense. Well, a very good quarterback can do that to your defense. Skip, this is not going to end well. I don't know how you can go back to Tony Romo and expect Dak, after winning 11 games, being Offensive Rookie of the Year, and you ask him to go and be a backup because he feels he's played well enough, he's earned that job. The guys in that locker room saying he's earned this job. And for Jerry to tinker with it because of his pride, maybe he wants validation. Jerry, you just got the ultimate validation.
He did.
You're going to Canton in August.
And that's why I told you yesterday, I was hoping that would calm him down, like I'm now a made man. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Instead, he's going to take it another direction. I'm a Hall of Famer. I have genius about me. Watch what I can do. Oh, now I know I'm going to show you that I gave all that money to Tony Romo for the right reason, because he's going to win me a Super Bowl next year. But the defense that Tony has torched in practice is going to be virtually the same defense next year, maybe with a draft choice or two.
If you keep Tony.
If you keep Tony, right?
Absolutely.
Because you made the point yesterday. You could clear it's about $5 million,
Yeah.
and maybe you could go get
Eric
Barrett. Yeah, somebody on the market to shore up your defense, because this situation is screaming to either trade or just release Tony. That would be the right parting gift. If you love him like a son, just release him, because then he could go make a deal where he wants to go. And he's earned that much.
Yes.
But now Jerry would sit back and say, I don't want him to go somewhere and win a Super Bowl elsewhere. That would be the ultimate, that would haunt Jerry for the rest of his days.
That's what is scaring Jerry the most.
It is.
If Tony were to go somewhere, just imagine if you're in college or high school and you dated Halle Berry or Scarlett Johansson, and all of a sudden you see them on the big screen, you're like, I messed that up. How did I let that happen? If Jerry were to see Tony Romo go to Denver or to Houston or wherever he may land and win a Super Bowl, Skip, I don't know what's the lowest moment in his life has ever been, maybe losing everything he's ever owned.
Yeah, I know what it was. It was when he flew into Love Field at one point in Dallas, Texas, the little commuter airport, Southwest Airlines airport, and gave his credit card to rent a car. And he told me the woman just took it and cut it in two because he was busted. He'd lost it all. That was his lowest point of his life, and this would rival it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To see Tony Romo go to another team, because Jerry's all along believed that Tony Romo had the goods to get a team to the Super Bowl. He believed he had the goods to get his team to the Super Bowl. And to see him go do that in someone else's uniform, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, they got Andrew Luck, but I bet you it bothered Jim Irsay to see Peyton Manning have the success that he had after he left and to win a Super Bowl. Because you're like, wow, I wonder if he could have done that here with us. If we had just waited one more year. I could have done this, could have done that. And Jerry's a guy that he doesn't like to live with regret. So he's going to go do what he keeps saying but he said it several times.
He did.
Ultimately, the decision is mine.
Yep.
I'm going to make this call. And Skip, he's about to mess up. Because the Cowboys, look, I'm not the biggest Cowboy supporter, but Skip, they got something special down there. The three best offensive linemen are all 28 or younger. Zeke's going to be 22. Dak's going to be 24. You got Dez under contract for another 2 years.
Yes, you do.
He's still under 30.
Jason Witten can still fly.
See, there you go. I was trying to get a Cowboy.
I know you were. Go ahead. Keep going. I liked it. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Skip, Jerry's going to mess this up. You need to get on the phone and call him. I mean, you know people that's close to him.
I do.
You need tell Jerry don't do it.
And, owning this team is such a drug, so to speak, and he's talking about the lighter fluid. And he's right, because last year when they took off, this team just explodes because, I'm sorry, it's still America's team.
What do they have?
Love, hate, whichever way you...
What do they have, like 5 of the top 7, 8 highest rated games?
Right. And this goes to a man's head who owns the Dallas Cowboys, who was a wannabe pro football player, a decent college player. And now he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's going to show you that Tony Romo Jones can win a Super Bowl with an offense that was made for him, probably at the expense of the defense. So we'll see how that turns out.